Let's start with a question. Have you ever wondered what makes a man look at you differently, not just with interest but with admiration? What if I told you that there are hidden actions you can take, ones that speak directly to his instincts, and elevate your value in his eyes almost instantly? Now, before you think this is about playing games or becoming someone you're not, let me stop you right there. This isn't about superficial tricks. It's about authentic actions that align with the incredible woman you already are. I'm talking about leveraging subtle, powerful behaviors that tap into his subconscious and make him see you as the woman who is unforgettable. Here's the thing. Society has fed us a lot of lies about what men want. Many believe it's all about looks, or that you have to act a certain way to get his attention. But those notions, they're outdated, and they completely miss the mark. What truly raises your value in his eyes isn't found on the surface. It's in the way you carry yourself, the energy you project, and the unspoken confidence you exude. So, are you ready to uncover these 6 transformative actions? These aren't just tips, they're tools to shift your mindset and interactions in ways that will make you irresistible. Stick with me, and you'll discover not only how to captivate his attention, but also how to maintain it, building a connection grounded in authenticity and respect. But don't just take my word for it, stay tuned, because what you're about to learn could change the way you approach relationships forever. Each step is designed to build on the last, so don't skip ahead. By the end of this, you'll have a roadmap to becoming the woman who effortlessly raises her value in his eyes. And here's the best part. It's all within your reach. Let's dive into the first action. This one lays the foundation for everything else. 1. Show authentic confidence. Let's start by getting honest. What does confidence mean to you? Is it walking into a room and having all eyes on you? Or is it the quiet assurance that you belong, no matter where you are or who you're with? The truth is, authentic confidence isn't about performing, it's about being. It's about embracing your worth and letting it shine through every action, word, and gesture, no matter the setting. And trust me, when you carry yourself with true confidence, men can feel it. It's magnetic. It's irresistible. But here's the kicker. Many people mistake confidence for arrogance or bravado, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Authentic confidence isn't loud or overbearing. It's a quiet, steady presence that doesn't need external validation. Imagine this. You're at a gathering, and there's a woman sitting calmly, smiling as she engages in meaningful conversation. She's not trying to dominate the room or seek attention, yet people are naturally drawn to her. That's the power of authentic confidence. It's subtle, but it's incredibly powerful. The question is, how do you embody this kind of confidence? It starts with shifting the way you see yourself. Confidence isn't something you put on like makeup or a designer dress. It's something you cultivate from within. To raise your value in a man's eyes, you need to believe in your own value first. This is where self-awareness becomes your secret weapon. What are your strengths? What makes you unique? What are the qualities you bring to the table that no one else can replicate? Instead of focusing on your flaws, those things society tries to convince us we need to fix, lean into what makes you extraordinary. Maybe it's your sharp sense of humor, your ability to listen deeply, or the way you can make people feel at ease. These are the things that make you irreplaceable. Men don't just notice them, they're captivated by them. Confidence also means being comfortable in your own company. Can you enjoy time alone without feeling the need to scroll through your phone or seek validation from others? That ability to be content with yourself is one of the most attractive qualities you can have. It signals to a man that you're not dependent on him to fill a void, that you're already whole. And believe me, there's nothing more appealing than a woman who knows her worth and doesn't need constant reassurance. Another key to confidence is setting boundaries. This one is huge. When you know what you stand for and what you won't tolerate, it shows a man that you respect yourself. Boundaries aren't about being rigid or unapproachable, they're about honoring your own needs and values. Men respect women who respect themselves, and when you demonstrate that through clear, loving boundaries, it instantly elevates how he sees you. Let's talk about body language, because it's one of the most visible ways you can project confidence. Did you know that how you carry yourself can communicate more than words ever could? Pay attention to your posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back and your head held high. Make eye contact and don't be afraid to hold it. A steady, direct gaze says, "I'm here and I'm unapologetically myself." And don't underestimate the power of a smile. It's a universal sign of confidence and approachability that can instantly make you more attractive. Here's another secret. Confidence grows through action. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're building a stronger foundation for your self-assurance. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, trying something new, or even initiating a conversation with someone you find interesting. Each small step is a victory, and those victories add up. Before you know it, confidence becomes second nature. But let's not forget the deeper, more personal side of confidence. It's not just about how you present yourself to the world, it's about how you treat yourself when no one else is watching. Do you celebrate your achievements, no matter how small? Do you give yourself grace when you make mistakes? True confidence comes from self-compassion and resilience. It's the ability to say, "I'm enough," even when I'm not perfect. When you embody this kind of confidence, something magical happens. You become magnetic. Men are drawn to women who know their worth because it challenges them to step up. It makes them want to be better, to earn your attention and respect. And here's the best part. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about tapping into the amazing woman you already are and letting her shine. So here's a question for you. How will you start showing authentic confidence today? Maybe it's standing tall and making eye contact the next time you're in a social setting. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you love about yourself and revisiting that list whenever self-doubt creeps in. Whatever it is, take that step. Own your worth. Now, let's bring it back to you. If this first action resonates with you, let me know in the comments by typing number 1. And if you're feeling inspired, hit that like button. It's a small action that tells me you're ready to embrace your authentic confidence. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next hidden action, because trust me, it's going to take your connection with him to a whole new level. Confidence isn't just a trait, it's a journey. So are you ready to take the next step? Let's keep going, because there's so much more to uncover, and it's only going to get better from here. Stay with me, your transformation is just beginning. 2. Master the art of mystery. Let's take a moment to imagine something. You're watching a movie, and the main character has a secret. It's not explicitly revealed, but the hints are there, the intrigue building with every scene. You're captivated, leaning in, wanting to know more. That, right there, is the power of mystery. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you allowed a little mystery to surround you? Mystery isn't about withholding or playing hard to get in a manipulative way. It's about creating space for curiosity. It's about letting someone want to peel back the layers, discovering new depths as they get to know you. When you master the art of mystery, you don't just hold his attention, you ignite his imagination. And in a world where so much is overshared and overexposed, a touch of mystery can feel like a breath of fresh air. One of the first ways to embody mystery is by being selective with what you share and when. It's not about being secretive, it's about timing. For instance, you don't need to lay out your entire life story on the first few dates. Instead, share glimpses, an anecdote here, a subtle detail there. Let him ask questions. Let him be curious. and let him work a little to understand you. Men are naturally wired to enjoy the pursuit, and when you give them the opportunity to explore who you are, it makes the experience of knowing you feel earned. Mystery also lives in how you carry yourself. Imagine walking into a room with an air of quiet confidence. You're engaged, but not overly eager. You speak when you have something meaningful to say, not just to fill silence. This isn't about being cold or aloof. It's about knowing the power of presence. When you can be comfortable in silence, it creates a sense of depth. It shows that you're not seeking approval, and that confidence is magnetic. Another element of mystery lies in your passions. When you have interests and pursuits that light you up, it creates layers of intrigue. What makes your eyes sparkle? What do you do that brings you joy? Maybe it's your love of traveling to off-the-beaten-path destinations, your knack for creating art, or your obsession with exploring ancient philosophies like Stoicism. Whatever it is, when you talk about your passions, let them unfold naturally, with genuine enthusiasm. A man who's intrigued by you will be drawn to your excitement, and he'll want to know more about the things that make you tick. But mystery isn't just about what you share, it's also about what you don't. Have you ever met someone who constantly feels the need to explain or justify their every move? It's exhausting, isn't it? When you're comfortable with leaving some things unsaid, it creates an aura of confidence and control. You don't need to explain your every decision or action. Sometimes, a simple smile or a thoughtful pause speaks volumes. Mystery also involves keeping a part of your life for yourself. In the early stages of dating, it can be tempting to give all your time and attention to someone new, but maintaining your independence is key. When you have your own friends, hobbies, and routines, it shows that you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already complete. This not only elevates your value in his eyes, but also keeps him intrigued, wondering about the life you've built and the parts of it he hasn't seen yet. A subtle yet powerful way to cultivate mystery is through your body language. Think about how much can be communicated without words. A lingering glance, a playful smirk, the tilt of your head as you listen intently. These small gestures create an undercurrent of intrigue. They make him wonder what's going on in your mind, what you're thinking, and what you're feeling. Body language is a language of its own, and when used intentionally, it can say so much more than words ever could. And let's not forget the power of unpredictability. When you're too predictable, it can be easy for someone to take you for granted. But when you keep things fresh and unexpected, like suggesting a spontaneous adventure or sharing a surprising skill, it keeps him on his toes. This doesn't mean being inconsistent or unreliable. It's about showing that you're dynamic, that you have layers and dimensions that can't be easily pinned down. The art of mystery also extends to how you handle emotional vulnerability. Sharing your emotions is important for building connection, but there's a way to do it that enhances your depth rather than overwhelming the dynamic. For example, instead of immediately venting every frustration or fear, take a moment to process your feelings. Share them thoughtfully and intentionally, choosing moments where it adds to the intimacy rather than detracting from it. This balanced approach not only protects your own emotional energy, but also creates a sense of intrigue around your inner world. But let's pause for a moment. What does this look like in practice? Imagine you're on a date, and he asks about your past relationships. Instead of diving into a detailed account of every ex and every heartbreak, you could say something like, "I've learned a lot about myself through my past experiences." It's honest, but it doesn't give away everything. It leaves space for curiosity and invites deeper conversations down the line. As you navigate this process, remember that mystery isn't about creating barriers. It's about cultivating intrigue. It's about showing just enough to keep someone engaged while leaving room for them to explore and discover more over time. And here's the beautiful part. This approach isn't just for his benefit, it's for you too. By allowing yourself to reveal layers gradually, you're honoring your own journey and creating relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. When you master the art of mystery, you're not just making yourself more attractive, you're inviting a man to truly see and appreciate you for who you are. You're saying, "I'm worth knowing, and I'm worth the effort," and that kind of energy. It's unforgettable. Stay with me, because we're just getting started. There's so much more to uncover, and the next hidden action will take this to an even deeper level. Let's keep going together. 3. Display emotional intelligence. Imagine this. You're sharing a moment with someone special. He's opening up about something deeply personal, a childhood memory, a challenging day at work, or even a dream he's too shy to admit out loud. Instead of jumping in with advice or shifting the focus to yourself, you simply listen, nodding gently, holding his gaze with an understanding smile. You're present, genuinely invested in what he's saying. This, my friend, is emotional intelligence in action. It's a skill that not only raises your value in his eyes, but also creates an unshakable bond. Emotional intelligence isn't just a buzzword, it's a superpower. It's the ability to understand, manage, and express your emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. In relationships, this skill is nothing short of transformative. Why? Because it fosters trust, deepens connection, and sets you apart from the crowd in a way that no superficial trait ever could. When you display emotional intelligence, you're not just showing that you care, you're showing that you understand. Let's break it down. How do you cultivate and demonstrate emotional intelligence in a way that makes him take notice? First, let's talk about listening. I don't mean the passive kind of listening where you're nodding along while thinking about what you'll say next. I'm talking about active listening, being fully present, making eye contact, and letting him know that his words matter. Imagine how powerful it feels to be truly heard. When you give him that gift, it creates a safe space for vulnerability. And vulnerability, it's the cornerstone of intimacy. But listening is only the beginning. To truly connect, you need to respond in ways that show empathy and understanding. For example, if he's talking about a stressful situation at work, resist the urge to jump in with solutions. Instead, validate his feelings. You might say something like, "That sounds really challenging, I can see why you'd feel that way." These simple words let him know that you're on his side, that you're not trying to fix him but rather support him. Now, let's address a common misconception. Many people think that emotional intelligence is about suppressing your own emotions to cater to someone else's. Nothing could be further from the truth. Emotional intelligence is about balancing empathy for others with self-awareness. It's about recognizing your own feelings and expressing them in a healthy, constructive way. For instance, if something he says bothers you, instead of lashing out or shutting down, you might say, "I want to share how I'm feeling because it's important to me that we understand each other." This level of communication doesn't just strengthen your bond, it shows him that you're someone who values growth and connection. It sets the tone for a relationship where both of you feel seen and heard. Another key aspect of emotional intelligence is being attuned to nonverbal cues. Sometimes, it's not what he says, but how he says it that reveals his emotions. Does he tense up when discussing a certain topic? Does his tone change when he's upset? By paying attention to these subtleties, you can respond in ways that show you're truly in tune with him. For example, if he seems withdrawn, you might gently ask, "I sense that something's on your mind. Do you want to talk about it?" This kind of sensitivity can make a man feel deeply understood, something he may not even realize he craves until you offer it. Emotional intelligence also shines through in how you handle conflict. Let's face it, disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. But how you navigate those moments can make all the difference. Instead of escalating the tension, practice staying calm and solution-focused. Use I statements to express your feelings without assigning blame. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when I don't get a chance to share my perspective." This approach fosters open dialogue rather than defensiveness, showing him that you're committed to resolution rather than winning. Now, let's dive into a concept that takes emotional intelligence to the next level: self-regulation. This is the ability to manage your emotional reactions, especially in stressful or triggering situations. It doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means choosing how to express them in a way that aligns with your values and goals. For instance, if he says something that irritates you, take a breath before responding. This pause not only gives you a chance to collect your thoughts, but also shows maturity and self-control. And let's be honest, there's nothing more attractive than someone who can handle their emotions with grace. Another way to demonstrate emotional intelligence is through gratitude. When you appreciate the small things he does, whether it's opening the door for you or remembering your favorite coffee order, it shows that you notice and value his efforts. Expressing gratitude doesn't just make him feel good, it reinforces positive behavior and strengthens your connection. A simple thank you can go a long way in making him feel seen and appreciated. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Emotional intelligence isn't just about understanding and managing emotions, it's about inspiring them. When you're in tune with your own emotions, you can create experiences that evoke joy, excitement, and passion. Whether it's planning a surprise date, sharing a heartfelt compliment, or simply being playful and spontaneous, these moments of emotional connection leave a lasting impression. Let's not forget the importance of emotional resilience. Life isn't always smooth sailing, and how you handle challenges speaks volumes about your character. When you face setbacks with courage and a positive attitude, it shows him that you're someone who can weather life's storms. This kind of resilience is deeply rooted in Stoicism, the idea that we can't control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. By embodying this philosophy, you inspire him to approach challenges with the same level of strength and composure. Now, let's pause for a moment and reflect. Emotional intelligence isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about being willing to learn, grow, and adapt. And when you approach relationships with this mindset, you create an environment where both of you can thrive. So, what's the takeaway here? Emotional intelligence is your secret weapon for building connections that are not only deep but also lasting. It's what sets you apart as a woman of substance, a woman who understands the power of empathy, communication, and self-awareness. When you display emotional intelligence, you're not just raising your value in his eyes, you're showing him what it means to build a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments by typing number 1. And if you're ready to explore the next hidden action that will elevate your connection even further, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. It's going to change the way you approach love and relationships forever. Let's keep going, because the best is yet to come. 4. Maintain your personal independence. Picture this. You're dating someone new, and everything feels exciting. You start spending more time together, texting constantly, and sharing every detail of your day. While this level of connection can feel intoxicating at first, there's something you should never lose sight of: your independence. Why? Because personal independence isn't just about preserving your sense of self, it's one of the most attractive qualities you can embody. Let's start with the psychology behind independence. Men are naturally drawn to women who have their own lives, passions, and routines. It signals strength, confidence, and self-sufficiency. When you maintain your independence, you show him that you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already whole. This shifts the dynamic from dependence to partnership, and that's a foundation for a lasting connection. But let's get practical. What does maintaining independence actually look like in a relationship? It begins with having your own identity outside of the relationship. Your hobbies, friendships, and career are all essential parts of who you are. When you continue to nurture these aspects of your life, it shows that you value your own growth and happiness. And here's the kicker. When you invest in yourself, it often inspires him to do the same. Think about this. When was the last time you pursued a passion purely for your own joy? Maybe it's learning a new language, diving into a fitness routine, or even revisiting an old hobby like painting or playing the guitar. These pursuits not only make your life richer, but they also create an air of intrigue. A woman who's passionate about her own journey is endlessly fascinating. He'll want to know more about what lights you up, and that curiosity keeps the relationship dynamic and engaging. Independence also means setting boundaries around your time. It can be tempting to drop everything for someone you care about, but remember, your time is valuable. When you prioritize your commitments, whether it's work, family, or personal goals, you're showing him that you respect yourself. And believe me, a man who's worth your time will respect you even more for it. Here's an example. Let's say he invites you out, but you already have plans with your friends. Instead of cancelling on your friends, stick to your plans and suggest another time to meet him. This sends a powerful message. You're interested in him, but you won't compromise your other relationships or responsibilities. It's a subtle yet effective way of asserting your independence. Another critical aspect of independence is financial autonomy. Being in control of your finances isn't just practical, it's empowering. It shows that you're capable of taking care of yourself, which is a quality that commands respect. You don't need to earn more than him or outshine his career. What matters is that you have your own sense of financial security and goals. This creates a balanced dynamic where neither of you feels like the other is dependent on them for support. Maintaining independence also means embracing the concept of alone time. It's essential to carve out moments for yourself, whether it's reading a book, going for a solo walk, or simply relaxing with your thoughts. These moments of solitude aren't just rejuvenating, they also allow you to reconnect with your inner self. When you have a strong relationship with yourself, you bring a sense of calm and centeredness to the relationship, which benefits both of you. Now, let's talk about independence within the context of emotional health. Being independent doesn't mean shutting off your emotions or avoiding vulnerability. It's about recognizing that your happiness and self-worth come from within, not from external validation. For example, instead of seeking constant reassurance from him, focus on cultivating your own self-confidence. When you're emotionally self-sufficient, you bring a sense of stability to the relationship that's incredibly attractive. This doesn't mean you can't lean on him during tough times. It's about finding a balance. Sharing your struggles and asking for support is part of building a healthy relationship. But when you rely on him as your sole source of emotional strength, it can create an imbalance. Independence means knowing when to lean on him and when to draw strength from within. Another way to maintain independence is by continuing to set and pursue your own goals. Relationships can be a beautiful part of life, but they shouldn't be your entire world. When you have dreams and ambitions outside of the relationship, it keeps you motivated and fulfilled. Whether it's advancing in your career, traveling to new places, or learning new skills, these pursuits not only enrich your life but also show him that you're driven and self-motivated. Here's a powerful mindset shift. Instead of thinking of a relationship as two halves coming together to make a whole, think of it as two complete individuals choosing to share their lives. This perspective fosters mutual respect and admiration. He'll see you as an equal partner, someone who complements his life rather than someone who depends on him to feel complete. Independence also creates space for healthy tension in a relationship. When you have your own life and he has his, it gives both of you something to share and talk about. It keeps the dynamic fresh and exciting because you're not constantly in each other's orbit. Absence truly does make the heart grow fonder, and a little distance can actually strengthen the bond between you. But independence isn't just about what you do, it's also about how you think. Cultivating a mindset of independence means trusting yourself and your decisions. It's about knowing that you're capable of handling challenges and that you don't need someone else to validate your choices. This level of self-trust is incredibly empowering, and it radiates confidence in a way that's impossible to ignore. And here's the best part. When you maintain your independence, you inspire him to do the same. A healthy relationship is one where both partners encourage each other's growth. By pursuing your own interests and goals, you set the tone for a partnership where both of you can thrive individually and together. Maintaining independence doesn't mean distancing yourself or being less invested in the relationship. It's about creating a balance where you can be deeply connected while still holding on to your sense of self. It's about showing him that you're with him because you choose to be, not because you need to be. So, what does independence look like for you? Is it about setting boundaries, pursuing your passions, or embracing moments of solitude? Whatever it means to you, remember this. Independence is not only a gift you give to yourself, it's also a quality that makes you unforgettable in his eyes. When you embody independence, you're not just raising your value in the relationship, you're building a life that's fulfilling and meaningful on its own. And that's the kind of life that draws people in, not because they complete it, but because they want to be part of something extraordinary. Stay tuned because we're diving even deeper into the actions that elevate your connection and attraction. Let's keep going. 5. Demonstrate appreciation and gratitude. Gratitude, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? And yet it holds a transformative power in relationships. Have you ever thought about how often we focus on what we don't have, what isn't going right, or what someone didn't do for us? Now flip the script. What if instead you focused on what is going right, on the thoughtful gestures and little moments that bring joy to your life? This mindset doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way he sees you. Appreciation and gratitude are about acknowledging the effort, care, and presence someone brings into your life. When you express gratitude authentically, it creates a ripple effect. It makes the other person feel valued, inspires them to do more, and deepens the bond between you. Men, like anyone else, want to feel seen and appreciated. They want to know their efforts matter. And when you show gratitude in meaningful ways, you become unforgettable. Let's start with a simple truth. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It's about noticing the little things, the subtle gestures he may not even realize you're observing. Did he open the door for you, remember your favorite dessert, or take the time to check in after a busy day? These small acts are easy to overlook, but when you take the time to acknowledge them, it shows that you're paying attention. It's as simple as saying, "I really appreciate how thoughtful you are. It means a lot to me." But let's take this further. Gratitude isn't just about what you say, it's also about what you do. Actions speak louder than words, and when you take the time to show your appreciation through your own thoughtful gestures, it creates a powerful dynamic. Maybe you surprise him with his favorite meal after a long day, write him a note to let him know how much you admire his hard work, or plan an activity that he loves. These small but meaningful actions communicate a depth of appreciation that words alone can't capture. Here's another layer. Gratitude amplifies emotional connection. When you appreciate someone, you're not just recognizing what they've done, you're acknowledging who they are. Imagine this, he shares an idea he's passionate about, and instead of giving a casual "that's cool," you say, "I love how creative you are. It's inspiring to see how much thought you put into this." That level of recognition doesn't just make him feel good, it makes him feel seen. And feeling seen is one of the most powerful experiences in any relationship. Now, let's address a common misconception. Some people worry that showing too much gratitude will make them seem overly dependent or submissive. But here's the truth. Expressing gratitude is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes confidence and emotional maturity to recognize and vocalize the positive things someone brings into your life. Gratitude isn't about putting someone on a pedestal. It's about creating a balanced exchange of respect and appreciation. Gratitude also fosters a positive feedback loop. When you acknowledge his efforts, it reinforces those behaviors. For instance, if you express gratitude for how he supports you during stressful times, it encourages him to continue being that source of support. And the beauty of gratitude is that it's contagious. When you model appreciation, it inspires him to do the same for you, creating a cycle of mutual respect and care. Let's dive into another powerful aspect of gratitude, its ability to shift focus. Relationships can sometimes get bogged down by stress, misunderstandings, or unmet expectations. But when you make a conscious effort to focus on the good, it changes the energy between you. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, you're celebrating what's present. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them from a place of positivity and possibility. For example, let's say he forgot an important date, and you're feeling hurt. Instead of immediately reacting with frustration, take a moment to reflect on all the ways he's shown care in the past. When you bring up the issue, you can frame it with gratitude. I really value how thoughtful you usually are, which is why I was surprised when you forgot this time. This approach not only makes the conversation more productive, but also reinforces the positive traits you want to nurture in the relationship. Gratitude also helps you stay grounded in the present. It's easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, but when you practice gratitude, you're reminding yourself of the beauty in the here and now. This sense of mindfulness doesn't just benefit you, it creates a calm and centered energy that draws others in. A woman who can find joy in the little things is magnetic. She's the kind of person people want to be around, and that includes the man in your life. But let's not forget the importance of self-gratitude. Before you can fully appreciate someone else, you need to appreciate yourself. Celebrate your own achievements, big and small. Recognize the effort you put into your personal growth, your relationships, and your dreams. When you're grateful for who you are, it creates a foundation of self-worth that enhances every connection in your life. And believe me, a man notices when a woman has that kind of confidence and inner peace. Let's bring it back to him for a moment. Gratitude is also about understanding his love language. Does he feel most appreciated through words, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, or gifts? By showing gratitude in a way that resonates with him, you're not just expressing appreciation, you're deepening your connection in a way that feels personal and meaningful. For example, if his love language is acts of service, you might cook his favorite meal or help him with a task he's been stressing over. If it's quality time, plan a day where you're fully present, doing something he loves. These gestures don't have to be grand, they just need to come from a genuine place of appreciation. Here's a question to ponder. How often do you take the time to express gratitude in your daily life? If you're like most people, it's easy to let it slip in the busyness of the day-to-day. But what if you made it a habit? What if you started each day by reflecting on one thing you're grateful for in your relationship? This simple practice doesn't just enhance your perspective, it transforms the way you show up for him and for yourself. When you consistently demonstrate appreciation and gratitude, you create a relationship built on mutual respect, love, and positivity. He'll see you not just as someone he enjoys spending time with, but as someone who enriches his life. And here's the best part. Gratitude doesn't just raise your value in his eyes, it raises your value in your own. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. Maybe it's a heartfelt compliment, a thoughtful gesture, or simply taking the time to say thank you for being you. And if this message has inspired you, Let me know by typing number 1 in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because the next action we'll explore is going to take everything you've learned so far and tie it together in a way that's truly transformative. 6. Use subtle and engaging body language. Imagine this. You're sitting across from someone you're drawn to, and though no words are spoken, there's a magnetic energy in the air. His posture mirrors yours, his eyes seem to linger, and a subtle smile crosses his face as you gently tuck your hair behind your ear. What's happening here is the unspoken dance of body language, a silent yet powerful form of communication that can convey interest, attraction, and confidence in ways words never could. Body language is your secret weapon in raising your value in his eyes. Why? Because it bypasses logic and speaks directly to his instincts. Humans are wired to pick up on non-verbal cues, and when you master the art of subtle, engaging body language, you're tapping into a primal level of attraction that goes far beyond surface charm. Let's begin with the basics: posture. The way you carry yourself speaks volumes about your confidence and self-assurance. Stand tall, with your shoulders relaxed and your chin slightly raised, not in a way that feels rigid or unnatural, but in a way that exudes poise. This posture communicates that you're comfortable in your own skin, a quality that is undeniably attractive. Now let's talk about eye contact. It's often said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and there's a reason for that. Holding steady eye contact creates a sense of intimacy and connection, but here's the key. It's not about staring. It's about balance. Too much eye contact can feel intense, while too little can come across as disinterest. The sweet spot lies in lingering, intentional glances that convey warmth and curiosity. Pair this with a gentle smile, and you've just created a moment that's impossible to ignore. Another subtle yet effective cue is mirroring. This is when you unconsciously mimic the other person's body language, such as leaning in when he leans in, or matching his pace during a walk. Mirroring creates a subconscious sense of harmony and alignment. It's as if your bodies are saying, "We're on the same wavelength." To use this technique consciously, pay attention to his gestures and movements, and reflect them back in a natural, unforced way. Let's dive deeper into the art of touch. Physical touch, when used appropriately, can ignite sparks of attraction. A light touch on his arm during a conversation, or a brief graze of your hand as you pass him something, can create a moment of connection that feels both exciting and effortless. The key here is subtlety. Touch should feel natural and organic, not forced or overly calculated. Your hands can also play a role in engaging body language. Gestures that are open and relaxed convey approachability and confidence. For example, when you're speaking, avoid crossing your arms or fidgeting. Instead, let your hands rest gently on the table or in your lap. If you're holding something, like a glass, keep your movements smooth and intentional. These small details contribute to an overall impression of composure and grace. Smiling is another powerful tool in your body language arsenal. A genuine, warm smile has the ability to light up your entire face and create an inviting atmosphere. But the key word here is genuine. A forced smile can come across as insincere, while a natural one conveys happiness and confidence. Practice smiling with your eyes. It's a subtle shift that adds depth and authenticity to your expression. Now let's talk about the energy you bring into a space. Your body language isn't just about the movements you make, it's about the energy you exude. When you walk into a room with a sense of calm confidence, it's palpable. Men notice the way you move, the way you hold yourself, and the way your presence shifts the dynamic of the room. To cultivate this energy, focus on feeling grounded in your body. Take deep breaths, relax your shoulders, and walk with intention. Another way to use body language effectively is through the power of playful gestures. Playfulness creates a sense of fun and spontaneity, which are essential for building attraction. Think about twirling a strand of your hair while laughing at his joke or lightly tapping his arm to emphasize a point. These small, flirty gestures add a layer of charm to your interactions and keep the energy light and engaging. But body language isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you don't do. Avoid closed-off gestures like crossing your arms or turning your body away from him. These signals can create a barrier and make you seem unapproachable. Instead, focus on open, inviting movements that encourage connection. For example, angle your body toward him when you're talking, and lean in slightly when you're engaged in the conversation. Let's take it one step further. The power of stillness. In a world that's constantly moving, stillness can be incredibly captivating. When you're comfortable with moments of silence and don't feel the need to fidget or fill every pause with words, it conveys a sense of inner peace and self-assurance. It's in these quiet moments that true intimacy often emerges. Body language also plays a role in how you handle moments of vulnerability. Imagine he's sharing something deeply personal, and instead of reacting with words, you place your hand gently over his as a gesture of support. That one action can convey more understanding and care than any words ever could. It shows that you're fully present and emotionally in tune. Let's not forget the importance of timing. Body language, like any form of communication, is most effective when it's natural and spontaneous. Forced gestures or overly deliberate movements can come across as disingenuous. The goal is to be present in the moment and let your body language flow naturally as a reflection of how you're feeling. Finally, let's talk about the interplay of body language with other hidden actions we've explored. Confidence, mystery, and independence all shine through in the way you carry yourself. When your body language aligns with these qualities, it creates a cohesive and compelling presence that's impossible to ignore. By mastering the art of subtle and engaging body language, you're not just enhancing your physical presence, you're creating a connection that goes beyond words. It's a language of its own, one that speaks directly to his subconscious and leaves a lasting impression. Take a moment to reflect. How does your body language align with the energy you want to project? Whether it's through a warm smile, an intentional gesture, or a moment of stillness, each movement is an opportunity to communicate who you are and what you bring to the table. When used thoughtfully, body language becomes a powerful tool for deepening connection and building attraction, making you truly unforgettable. Now that we've unraveled these 6 hidden actions, each one a subtle, yet powerful way to raise your value in his eyes, it's time to bring it all together. Let's take a moment to reflect on what you've just learned. Confidence, mystery, emotional intelligence, independence, gratitude, and body language. They're not just tactics, they're reflections of the remarkable woman you already are. These actions aren't about becoming someone you're not. They're about amplifying the unique qualities that make you you. Here's the beauty of it. These shifts don't just transform how he sees you, they transform how you see yourself. When you show authentic confidence, you're affirming your worth to yourself first. When you cultivate mystery, you're holding space for your own growth and discovery. When you display emotional intelligence, you're choosing connection over ego. When you maintain independence, you're honoring your identity. When you practice gratitude, you're inviting joy into your life. And when you use engaging body language, you're speaking a universal truth without saying a word. Let's not forget, these aren't one-time actions. They're habits, mindsets, and ways of being that evolve over time. Each one builds on the other, creating a ripple effect that radiates throughout your life. Relationships flourish not because of fleeting moments, but because of the consistency with which we show up as our best and most authentic selves. Now I want you to pause and think about this. Which of these actions resonated with you the most? Was it the idea of embracing your independence? The power of subtle body language? Or maybe the transformative practice of gratitude? Whichever one it is, that's your starting point. Begin with what feels natural and let the rest unfold in time. There's no rush. This is your journey, and it's meant to be savored. Remember, raising your value in his eyes isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about stepping into your own power. It's about realizing that you're not chasing love. You're attracting it by being fully yourself. The right man will see this, appreciate it, and rise to meet you where you are. Before we part, let me leave you with this. Love isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up, not as the ideal version of yourself, but as the real one. When you live authentically, you invite a connection that's not just surface level, but deeply rooted in respect, admiration, and shared growth. That's the kind of connection that lasts. If this video inspired you, take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you can do today to embrace your authentic self? Maybe it's practicing gratitude, leaning into your independence, or simply smiling with more intention. Whatever it is, know that every step you take is a step toward becoming the woman you're meant to be. Your transformation begins now, and the possibilities are limitless. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember to stay true to yourself, embrace your unique power, and let your light shine. You've got this. Here's to your incredible journey ahead. Until next time, stay radiant and unstoppable.